Hello, guys. I guess it's time to do another OptiRantSophy rants. Another one. I haven't even named that. Is it OptiRantSophy rants plus two? OptiRantSophy rants plus. Why plus? OptiRantSophy rants two. Should I call it OptiRantSophy? OptiRantSophy. Maybe. It's like talking about code, usually about ranting about slow code and optimizing the obsession of optimizing without doing the actual OptiRantSophy, show you some code, which are some episodes I have to come back at some point. I have to show more things, but now I'm going to do the runs because I don't know. I see something and then I was going to do something else. I was going to play Dark Souls or write some code, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna do an OptiRantSophy run now. This has triggered me, and it's not triggered. It's just I like. I'm not exactly angry at things. I just like to rant about some things. And this is the prime time. This is a very funny guy. It's a channel. I accidentally found him, and I found him. I don't know if I can. I found him because of this interview of Casey Muratori, which I'm a big fan of. And this guy is so funny. Even in the interview, I think this is the point.
Oh
And
my
so what
goodness.
happens? The design that you actually
Look. He's talking here. Casey is running. He's giving the passion.
need
And,
to be able to
and
do
this
that,
guy,
but because you're wrong,
Look.
that won't be the design that you actually want when you go to do the thing that you haven't done yet.
Let's go! This
you
is
know what I'm
so
saying?
good. No, this is totally true.
he's punching the air. Yeah, let's go! And all his videos are like that. All his videos. He's running about languages. He's making fun of certain languages, of certain editor, of certain types of programmers. Even if most of his stuff are not the thing I do, like, C, C++, assembly, low level graphics. Well, a lot of things are about the web, and he was working in Netflix. I don't know if he's still in Netflix. So it's totally different. Most of the things he talks about, I don't have much idea. But it's sometimes fun to watch. And there are some articles that don't focus in coding. They focus, all software sucks. Become a -10 engineer. He's ranting on some certain tech articles, But anyway, what am I doing here? I'm not doing a reaction video of his video. I'm doing, and I was looking at this one, and there was something about this article that, and I was running with some comment, and I was looking other people were finding things about it, and I have some rants to do about how sometimes, I mean, okay, there is something positive about this company, DeepMind. Actually, I have watched. This is the CEO of DeepMind, and I've watched an interview of him. Maybe it was in Lex Friedman, and it was really the work they do is really interesting. He also used to be a game developer and used to have a ZX Spectrum, so we can relate. He worked in Balfrog, Syndicate Theme Park, and so on. And then he opened his own company for using AI to improve the world. And there are some good stuff because they were looking at using AI to find better algorithms in all kinds of science and like better with something with protein folding in the biological sense. I don't know how it works. I don't know how easy or hard it is. Probably it is hard, but people were discovering better ways to do protein folder, but then the AI would discover other ways, and that's always the magic. The AI doesn't have a mind of its own. It doesn't understand the context. But if you let it run amok, it might, besides creating Skynet, have you not got Terminator? Okay, I should not divert. It might show you some algorithm, it's not going to know how the hell did it came to that conclusion. It might find some algorithms that are better or faster than others that you didn't even notice, and you will be like, how the hell? But it didn't understand. Now you as a scientist or as programmer will have to look at the code and see how I have to understand how it did it, because it doesn't have the context. It wasn't the conscious mind that thought the improvement in the algorithm. But running, it's like previously what I have heard about genetic algorithms, for example, where you run certain algorithms many times. Maybe you mutate parameters in the algorithm and you check the result. It's really interesting as a concept. It doesn't know what it's doing. It's not conscious what it's doing, but it might produce results that are very surprising. And sometimes you can look at them. You will learn that. Oh, that's another way to improve those kinds of algorithms. I never thought about that, and no other scientists here. But it's not like people are dumb and AI is beyond humans. This is something I want to talk because it has to do also with our blind faith in the compiler doing optimization that we will never be able to do and all that stuff. So, here is the prime time looking at some paper from DeepMind that the title is Alpha Dev discovers faster sorting algorithm. You're like, whoa, oh really? Really, that's groundbreaking. Imagine all our sorting algorithms improve. Imagine we find the new one and we replace our quick sort or whatever with this one, and everything goes faster. But here is a catch. This is a PR move. I was looking first at the article, and here Prime is trying to understand some pseudo assembly. It's assembly with, instead of register, it has all this PQR, which is better for reading. And in the comments it shows what is being compared to reach the result. But first of all, a lot of readers have found out that this memory 2, where you put the max from AC, it's not gonna, if B was greater in the sequence of event, if B was the greatest, that would be a mistake. But there was a commenter that said something. I'll come to this. And the commenter said the actual paper says a precondition for this to work is that B is less or equal to C. And then this makes sense. But a lot of people have said, hey, that's a lot of people notice it. That's not right. What are they selling us? There is the one thing. Look now. There is more to this. First of all, the only thing that changed is that a move, the only improvement, a move instruction was removed. Also, it's funny to see these C move instructions, and I've seen them there. Something I just didn't know. Here we see the actual x86 instructions, and there is this C move. Actually, that's a conditional move. I didn't know this existed. This is a conditional move. Move less, move greater. You know, less than, greater than, and so on. So move EDX to ECX only if this comparison, I guess, is less than. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember. There wasn't a C move L. But then I'm looking at I just click on something. Where have I found that? There is a C move. There is. I just want to see where. I mean, it's there. Okay, somewhere I found. I don't find. I found that this is maybe in another table. Why I don't find the same? Yeah. It's here. See, move L, man. Why can I not find it here? Ah, there. So it's actually a Pentium Pro and higher. I didn't know that. You know, I'm programming for all PCs for 386, 486, at best Pentium, and even then my code is mostly 386 focused. Finally, we have a compare and move. Do we have compare and exchange? There is a compare and exchange in the Pentium. Do we have compare? What are you doing? Rep compare, that must be older. Anyway, so there are a few more integer instructions. Compare and exchange in the 486. Why would that not be good for a swap? There is also the exchange instruction. Here you have the usual put A0 to temp, do the comparison to... I don't think this code is good because if this is less than this, A0 equals to A1, else A0 equals to A0. I don't know what the compiler does, but why not omit that? Why not say, okay, and then it compares it with temp. Because this is a sort of two numbers, isn't it? A0 and A1. It's not A3. Because it could say, okay, if it's more than, if A1 is greater than A0, you don't need to do anything. So you only say if A1 less than A0, then put brackets and do the thing with put the A1 to A0 to temporary. You don't even do. So is this the best C code? But you don't know what the compiler will. Anyway, it's an example. And I wonder if, yeah, those are good instructions, but I wonder if the exchange instruction, there is a compare and exchange, which I guess you wouldn't need the temporary. And I know there are some tricks with exclusive, or I think, or there are some tricks. Everybody's bragging. I don't even know the trick. I could look at it. It's just a hacker's delight, bitwise hack. There is some trick to swap two variables without using a temporary. But anyway, and so it does this whole thing where it tries different things, and it's checking the result because some of the sorting algorithm might not. It says that it leads to, I'm curious about this, improvements in the LLVM libc++ sorting library, 70% faster for shorter sequences, about 1.7% faster for, and as I understand, it's if you want to sort 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 5 numbers, and so on, a very small number, you might get something. And I wonder if there are enough cases. I mean, you know, maybe if you sort the vertices of several triangle, but the vertices of each triangle, you have 3 vertices or 4 vertices for a quad. Maybe. But then this is something you could, if it's so simple, you don't need the AI to tell you. So they might have shown that there is an improvement. Here is where the manipulate. I think this page is the PR article. Like we discovered a faster sorting algorithm, which they didn't, and people think, okay, I guess we will replace our quick sorts now, and then you realize, oh, it's for small numbers, which might still be useful. And then you see that this is for 3 numbers, this is for 4 numbers. And I was watching that, I was like, oh, something changed here and here and here. And then I realized, no, something changed here. This instruction is the same, it's just the comment changed, because by changing the sorting, you change what are the later things that are sorted. So basically, this whole AI thing just saves us a move instruction. And that's the same for here, even if it's more. It follows a chain, but the instruction on the left side are the same. And so I guess from a PR perspective, this article, if it had highlighted only this line and only this line, it would be like, okay, it just saved the line. Wouldn't your average assembly programmer look at this and not even look at this code, but think the code on their own? Think, how would I do it as fast as possible and put some thought into it? Wouldn't they do it themselves? Because the way it presents and the myth behind AI is that AI found this thing and this is a magical thing. This is how people think. This is a magical thing. This is something that you would need to have an IQ of 200 to have figured out. And that's why, you know, good bold. There are many stories of, oh, I write this code in God bold. I was trying something myself to prove or disprove some OptiRantSophy thing. I ran this thing on God bold and something in the machine, in the assembly language was so crazy I couldn't understand. And then if I managed to understand, I was like, whoa, there is never a way. You have to have 1000 IQ to even write this. Oh my god, compilers are gone. You should stop thinking about optimize. You should stop thinking about performance. You should just stop. Because these things are beyond us. They are beyond humans. People exaggerate that. They exaggerate generally things about the AI. I want to talk a bit about the AI. I'm not negative with AI, but there is some kind of virtue signaling of, maybe not virtue signaling, but there is some kind of, everybody wants to talk super positive about the AI, like, oh my god, it did the impossible thing. A new future is ahead us, everything will change now, and I guess things will change, but it's presented in a way, I don't know. And here, people will see that, say, oh, they found, if they go down here, they found new sorting algorithm. It's over. You don't need to invent your own sorting algorithm or try to improve the existing ones, because AI will figure. But it didn't. It just in a code that code might be maybe even anyone could write better assembly code. That is not even it's not even doing with compare and move. I don't know. I don't know if this compare exchange, or maybe it's the best one. The compare and move. I mean, is this generated from C code? Is this some already? This one some already handwritten optimized assembly, and the AI did better than the best hand optimized assembly. If you don't understand, you see it like magic, but it's just. And I try to follow this. By the way, this is the way it's written. In x86 assembly, when you say move R, S, it means put S into R. But here it follows the opposite convention. It's move R to S. Here, compare and move, if greater, P to R. That's why R equals P. Because, if you say move EDX, comma EBP. This means that EBP goes to EDX. But at least here, but not here, unless it's the opposite convention. There are different ways to write assembly. That's why move EX to EDX. Okay, there is a different syntax. I think there is Intel syntax and some other syntax. So maybe they use that syntax. So you have to think it like that, the other way around. Or maybe that was the correct way all along. I don't know. And looking at it, even from the comments, you realize, okay, not only it didn't find a new sorting algorithm. Here's it. Did it find? That's the headline. That could also be a scientific newspaper headline, like always exaggerating. Okay, the findings. The AI discovered a brand new sorting algorithm. It didn't. It did prove one line of assembly. Here it presents there are more differences. So someone who doesn't see, oh my god, he found many changes here, many. Oh my god, which assembly programmer could see? But if it's one line, you say one line. That's something. It couldn't seem as impressive because it's really that line. And not only that, but people have noticed that if you follow the algorithm, if B I think if B is greater than C, in memory 2, which is the greatest element, you will put max A, comma C and move R. And I don't find move R to S, R is C. Compare and move P to R. Now, it might be confusing like me, but it says here, unless they do A equals max AC. So B is never in the equation for the max. It is on the mean. You find minimum A, comma C, minimum A, comma B, and then you compare for the middle point, the Q, the memory one, the maximum of the minimum A and C and B. So that's how you find the midpoint. So, and everybody was like, what the hell? This isn't even right. But then someone points in the comment that if you read the whole paper, and I need to find it again. Damn it. And now, this thing. So this is not an algorithm that sorts three numbers no matter what. This is an algorithm that sorts three numbers where we know that B. That's what the commenter said, and I guess that's what it says here. That so this is a subset of a sorting algorithm of three elements where we already know that B is same or less than C. So, and I don't want to say something bad about these people. That's fine. They wrote a paper. You only see it on the paper. This is the thing they say about. You see a paper that tries to find something. Maybe it doesn't find. Maybe that's how successful it is now. And maybe we have hope for the future. You know, more research is needed. We are just presenting a method, and there can be improvements. So maybe at some point we will really invent the faster sorting algorithm. Okay. So I'm not shitting on these people, okay? They are doing their works. They put the paper. There are these preconditions. But this is not the news organization. This is the same guy. They published this paper, I guess, and this is the DeepMind who is promoting it. So now it's promoting, showing you all that, but I haven't found here to say, okay, this is something that works with 3 elements, and B also has to be less or equal for C. So it's a subset of the algorithm that stores 3 elements with precondition that B equals less than C. So it's even less impressive from that sense. And all we did is we saved a move instruction, which is not a big deal. And the rest of the highlight, the instructions are the same, it's just the comments. But it will look less impressive if we don't show things that, oh, things are changing. You see, and it's not the 3 and 4. And maybe we did something that it's for 250,000 elements, 1.700. For small sequences, it's up to 70%. I wonder, is it up to 70%? Oh, is this used in LLVM sorting library now? Did they add this to the LLVM lib C++? And I'm wondering if you just remove a move, there are a lot of things happening here. Will this improve 70%? I would expect this to improve 10%. And there is something that many people say, in modern processor, what architecture? What if you remove a move and because of the pipeline rules, you don't even get a speed up, or you even get things that are a bit slower? Unless by removing, compare a move P, put P to S and then move S to P. Okay, maybe there is some, I don't know much. You put P to S and then this has to wait because it will put S to P again. Okay, maybe because of the pipeline rules, this is saving more than one would think. Because you move S to P, but it would have to wait for the comparison. And if the comparison fails, nothing will happen, of course. But it will have to wait for the whole comparison. So maybe this is a bigger save, but it's still a move. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't seem as much impressive. They are available in the library. Yeah. Maybe I could... Huh. So they have separate... If you sort 3, 4, or 5 numbers, then... Yeah, interesting. I mean, there might be an improvement. The way it's presented, discovers faster sorting algorithms. Then it's for 3 numbers. Then it's for 3 numbers if B is guaranteed to be less or equal than C. You see, that's what I mean. See how things have escalated, okay? From the paper. And it even does more analysis. I think these people did a lot of research. They found the results, they had to publish something. Then the company has to make a bit more impressive PR. I'm not trying to say bad things about them. I like their work. But this whole thing was amusing because me and the other users were trying to figure this out. Okay, what did it really do? And does it prove that this is the point? People are seeing that. They are seeing God Bolt. They're seeing they're seeing algorithms. Prime Time was talking about the Where is it? I had it here now. The fast inverse square root algorithm, which is John Carmack popularized it, but I know it was. He said it was solved. It was an IBM programmer, and it has to do something with Newton approximations and some kind of bit magic numbers and so on. But I kinda get all of that. I don't think it's something. Yeah, and sometimes you find other algorithms and you're like, how did this guy make this so fast? Which is also my hobby, okay? Because I'm doing all these demos and sometimes I invent crazy stuff. And it's like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that. This guy is magic, and that's why we need AI. We need all this AI and compiler because I'm not going to do that. Okay, maybe some people are not going to do that, but I don't think you need to have an IQ of 200 or even 150 to do that. I'm not very smart, I'm dumb. I'm just a bit above 100, I would say. But there is something else. There is the. In many ways, I'm not smart, but if I get obsessed about something, and that's the point. There is this magical thinking that things are so complex, and maybe people like to think about. Things are so complex that even if you put your mind, you would be fighting for months. You would be fighting for months to find that you can remove a move instruction. This is something even another assembly program. They could write their own and try to. It's not something crazy. Here I'm writing runs. And I'm writing. We have this cult of, oh my god, AI will save us from all our problems, and compilers will save us from all our problems. And this is even more proof. When I watched in Godbolt that magical code that is beyond me, I thought I will never be able to do this, and that proves that compilers are so smart that I will never need to optimize. I will never need to think about performance. And when people say, "Oh, are you gonna reinvent the wheel?" There are experts and magical machines that do that for you. You are going to waste a whole year and do something that is worse than what people have already done. It's not true, but maybe some people tried and failed. I mean, you can try, and if you are not experiencing this, but you need the right mentality. I don't know. Not everyone has to do that. Some people don't. It seems that most people don't like to do it, but they rejoice. They rejoice with the idea that look how clever these things are. It's amazing. I will never. There is a rejoice with the AI. Look, the AI wrote the code for me. This is a bright future. There is a brightness. Now my face is glowing. Okay, from happiness. I try to show you that with since I don't have a camera, with my voice. I rejoice. The AI is the future. Yesterday I said ChatGPT to make a Pong game for me, or a Flappy Bird, or a server based stack something, and whatever, or optimize that. And it did something, and I was like, whoa! It was 500 better than I would have done it. Imagine. It's over. We as humans are over. The machine can do it better than us. So why not follow the future? Why not follow the future? You will be the one who is not following progress. There is this optimism, but that is, I can't explain it. I lately use the word virtue signaling, even if it's used for other things, but it's something like that. It's like you are presented how you are progressive with honestly, if some dude was paid to fiddle with assembly instruction for a few months, no, you don't need few months to save a move instruction. Okay, but there is this thing. This thing is that these things are so much. They are beyond our understanding. They are so magical. You haven't seen when the 8-bit programmers in the 80s, the demos. You say, okay, but now assembly is more complex. Yeah, but you don't need everything, and you don't need to write assembly. That's the thing. People are using that to say, because things are so magical and so beyond me. You have to let the compiler do it. You have to stop thinking about performance, which means they stop to think about performance at all. Okay. You say, what about performance? Why is our software 10 times slower? We have such a beast computer and regular application take even time to load. Why in a computer 10, 20 years ago I could run the same kind of applications instantly and then I have to wait for a few seconds or 10 seconds? Well, this is what cases. Why something must have gone wrong. No, it's absolutely right. It must be the network. It must be there are more features. No, something is lost. And people think, okay, this is how fast applications should go. This is how fast software. They think this is it because we have so clever compilers that I guess the result I'm getting must be close to the optimal assembly. But it's not that. It's not just the assembly. It's you stop caring about performance. You have a blind faith in the machine, and with AI, it's going to be even worse. And I'm not a scaremonger about AI. I don't care about Skynet and AI weapons. But there is something else. It's this blind faith. Because this blind faith, if you want to improve the performance, people laugh at you like, why are you doing this? This is unprofessional. We all know now. Experts say that compiler can do everything for you, and so you don't need to think about performance. And I don't even talk about low level. I don't even talk about assembly. That's what Casey says. When people think, oh, why should I optimize? Do you want? Are we living in the 90s where we have to cycle count? No, but by dismissing this, you are dismissing even being performance conscious. You are right unnecessary even in high level. Even if you in high level you are doing so many, you are writing so many things with assumptions that everything will be perfect. I'll just write it as it is, and compilers and computers are fast. You're starting with that. You are not suspicious that can I make things faster? Is that fast? The fact that my application takes time to even load, is this normal? Or are we used to this? What if most applications today loaded instantly? Then if you wrote an application that even took 2 seconds to load, which is little by today's standard, you will think, I'm doing something wrong. If my application doesn't load instantly, I'm doing something wrong. And now you have the opposite. If I don't know, Visual Studio or something else is taking 10 seconds to open, then if you write an application that takes 15 seconds to open, you think, okay, I'm not like those experts in whatever company. So if they did 10 seconds and I did 15, I must be fine. I must be doing everything optimized enough. If you make it to load in 8 seconds, you think you are programming God. Do you know? Do you understand? Because the overall quality of the software is like that. Everybody thinks this is how fast software will be, and they think this is we have reached the peak, and compilers are doing the best they can because we have abandoned this. And when you have the AI stuff, how matter will help, and I'm very positive about some things that DeepMind is doing. Despite the PR, are they exaggerated? No, I mean everybody has to do PR, and not just in programming, in other science, in biology, and who knows what else. People are reinforced with this feeling that we even less have to care about performance because now compiler will optimize anything that wasn't able to optimize. So if there was some hole in assembly, a single move, that's over too. You never have to write assembly again. And by definition, you never have to care even about high level performance. You never need to care about being performance conscious, being suspicious. Because you will always have an excuse. Maybe future AI will optimize your high level code too. And there is something strange. That's the final thing I will say. AI artists are pissed. I'm not gonna answer. I'm just going to change the picture. AI art, I'm angry anyway. Okay, one reason that AI artists are pissed is of course the thing about the how is it, the public domain, right? The AI art is based on a lot of artworks all over the internet, so it's like is it stealing, is it not, the copyright thing, and I think here's the thing. Maybe I have seen I haven't seen many videos, but maybe I have seen 2-3 videos where an artist is critical of AI art. And okay, maybe they focus in the copyright thing, it's gonna steal our jobs and so on, which might be. But there is a good thing about artists. They understand creativity. They understand, they love the thing that they do. I don't know an artist who is doing art and I wish I didn't do it. Here's the thing, there's no art. I wish I didn't have to use a paintbrush or I didn't have to touch a mouse. I could make art with my mind. Maybe a brain-computer interface and I could make art with my mind and that's it. And maybe think the thing and not do it, Or, wow, delighted, the future is bright. Now with AI art, I don't have to touch anything. I can just put my text prompt. This is glorious. Why don't the AI artists, why are they not following the future, man? The future, this is the progress. This is positive thing. We will not have to create ever. I will not have to use my skills and my creativity to do something actual. Pixel by pixel or brush by brush. I'm so delighted that me as an artist, I will never have to do art again. You know why? Because I've seen so many articles where it's the exact opposite in the programming world. The recipe will be reply, will destroy. Maybe I have seen some lame tech articles, but let's just put something to be different. Yeah. Or will ChatGPT AI destroy programmers? And maybe there was an article. Yes, and you should be delighted about it. It's that, programmers. There is something about it. I have talked about it. You don't see mathematicians say, whoa, we have discovered a new technology that I will not have to see numbers again. I hate numbers. As a mathematician, I hate numbers. I hate symbols. I want to do math without the math. I want to do art without the art. I want to do music without the music. I don't want to hear. I want to do music in silence. So why is it that only with programming? What's going wrong with the programming? With the programming field, with the philosophy in programming, where programmers don't want to program, don't want to code. I have found people, even before that, who studied computer science, finished computer science, even I don't know, even someone who is, doing game design and code, it's like, I want to design game, I don't want to code. Or programmers who finished, you know what, I don't like coding. Maybe we are doing something wrong. Maybe programming is shit. The way we have all these frameworks upon frameworks upon frameworks. People are like, oh, how horrible it was with assembly and C++ and C and Pascal and whatever. It was simpler. It was simpler. Maybe it's new programmers. Maybe there is something different with the programming community. It's only this field that is delighted. You don't see a doctor. I'm gonna give medicine to people without having to check their case or something. Okay, I don't know about. And yeah, you can say, yeah, you're not gonna stop doing your craft. You are going to combine AI. That's fine, but why are you delighted to say we won't need to program, and it will be great if you do it, and you are living in the past? You should be happy, because for programming, progress is to get away from the machine. What's going on? Why is it? Yeah, I talk about the frameworks upon framework, JavaScript, yeah. And personally, I see JavaScript and all these packages and all this thing on top of JavaScript and all this. I mean, I'm new. I have to use it in my work, even if we did C++. And I'm like, this is supposed to be for newbies. This is supposed, the C and the C++ is for low-level programmers, and it's scary. That was more scary for me, the JavaScript. Maybe I'm new, but I can't even debug that shit. And I see some new languages because you don't see a pointer here and the bit shift there and the strange symbol there. Not that C++ is syntax is weird sometimes and convoluted, especially with the templates and all that stuff. But even in C, maybe I'm used to. I'm not coding C, and I feel like, oh my god, this is so low level. I can do. I can very easily express myself with C. I have an algorithm. It's only in assembly. That's why I don't write everything in assembly. But only when it's only in assembly that I'm 3 times slower. That I have to think, oh, what was that register? Where? It's only when I prefer to write an algorithm in C, and then if it's possible to optimize some part of it in assembly. But above assembly, I don't see much difference between C and modern languages personally. Why do people think C is something like an ancient scary thing? Because of some pointer or something. I see modern things in JavaScript and other languages that you have to change your mind around. It's the same thing. But generally there is this push, I diverted a bit, to get away from the machine, only in programming. There are many theories about it. One theory is that this used to be something that nerds were doing, and only, when people were making fun of them. And then when programming became popular, you had the tech bro billionaires, everyone, oh, I got to join that too. But I want to be the tech expert without getting too deep. I'm not gonna be some virgin neckbet like you. I'm gonna get the same position by doing some high level. But it's not high level. I still don't like programming. You know. Why are people delighted only on this? And now the last thing I was thinking. People are delighted to get as far away as they can from the machine. Wait a minute. By installing a machine to do the work for them. Okay. And you know what? When I look at this and I try, you think you're closer to the machine, but you are not. I will prove you that I will not prove you. It's actually closer to the human. Having the AI do things for you is you are marrying the machine, but you have no idea what it does. If I wrote my own code and somehow managed to save this instruction, and I have a eureka moment. Oh, we don't need to do that. I could do that by removing that. This is a delightfulness that is. This is human creativity. This is something the machine cannot see only by accident. This is repeating things till it finds things, and we have to make it, check it, and see, okay, this must be better than the other one because we compare results. Do you understand it? Moving more to the, I don't want to think about the context of my code. I don't want to have the eureka moment, the happy moment of creating something on my own, like the artists, or optimizing code, making something. Like everything I do. Like everything I do. The 8-bit fractals, there were so many iterations. Okay, I spent a lot of time, so many iterations to make something that I didn't thought it was possible. To make an 8-bit fractal that doesn't run at 1 frame per second. There are so many ideas that have some creative brilliance and some out-of-the-box thinking that is anything else than machine. It's human, it's the human invention. Will you be happy? I don't know if I have some crazy stuff here in the titles. If you have ChatGPT or whatever, do that for me. Oh, I did. I did the work. What is the creation process? Nothing. Why are you delighted about that? At least AI artists understand it and are pissed also for other reasons too. Imagine, I can make art without ever needing to do art. Is that the future? Unless we go back to the basics, and in the future most people will code without coding, and there are the few of us, the real nerds, like in the 80s, like in the 70s, maybe in the 90s, when, programming and being a nerd wasn't the cool thing. Maybe we go back to the basics. And that's it, guys. That's my rant.